We all love eating outside, but how often do you feel safe taking your meals outside? Are you confident that it's prepared in a clean manner or even served to you on a clean plate? My name is Money Penny, and together with HMEP Media, we're bringing you a documentary series giving you insights and knowledge into the F&B world in Asia. According to World Health Organization, almost 1 in 10 people in the world population fall ill after eating contaminated food, with 420,000 deaths recorded annually. Other reported cases include diarrhea, acute poisoning, and other infections. This is still happening out there, especially with the recent news that has been brought to our attention here in Malaysia. Join us as we speak to someone with the experience on how this can be avoided through safe hygiene practices. Let's go. Today, we're at their latest restaurant, Cielo's. We have today with us Ms. Trudy Ho, Managing Director of Furnace Group.
Hi,
Trudy. I have to say this is an impressive wall covering. It's not, often to have guests greeted with such a nice, skyline.
Nice view.
Yeah, exactly. What's the story behind this restaurant and behind the brand?
We were approached by the owners of the building, and they said they have visited a lot of our outlets and they really wanted us to do something very special here. So they brought us their designs, and we thought we needed something different in this area, in this neighborhood. This is Changkat Bukit Bintang, famous for a lot of bars and nightlife. And we wanted to bring something a little bit more refined to the market in this area. There isn't really a nice seafood restaurant in the area, and so we decided to do a rooftop seafood restaurant.
Right. What is important when customers come in to your restaurant?
If you take a look at the restaurant, it's not a place where you have to, have very stiff shirt, right? And it's just a place where you feel like you are in a rooftop or the top of a cliff overlooking the sea, having the sky, eating good seafood, still being able to chill and relax without it being too stiff. It's just the fact that it's very, how shall I put it? People are excited for new things. They want, and we are known for having very exciting outlets. So everybody wants to know when is the next Furnace Group outlet. It's just, they know it's going to be fun because none of our outlets are stiff, right? And to have our first rooftop outlet is exciting for everyone.
Recent incident went viral that causes a lot of concerns for hygiene practices, hygiene standards. Why do you think this incident, still happens today?
Okay. Malaysia is a food haven. Okay, everybody loves to eat. It has reached a point where a lot of Malaysians have this mentality, and we all know this. If the food is good, as long as we don't enter the kitchen, we will continue to eat in the outlet. Okay, a lot of people think that way. Is it right? Absolutely not. Okay, hygiene practices in the food industry, food and drinks industry, is so important. It's like, at home, you wouldn't eat off a dirty plate. Why would you be expected to do that in a restaurant when you pay for your meal?
Yeah, exactly. And do you think it's really difficult to maintain and implement this kind of hygiene practices in a restaurant especially?
If the staff and the management of the restaurant understands that it is not difficult at all. It's practices that we expect from every level of staff, whether it's the waiter, the cooks, the bartender, the head chef, the manager. If they understand what is it like, to have good hygiene practices, it's not difficult at all. The difficulty is not the place.
Yep.
It is getting the staff to understand it, to take responsibility, to maintain the cleanliness of the place.
From your experience in relation to cost of implementing, it appears, in relation to the incident, that might be one of the reasons for not, implementing that kind of hygiene practices and standards. From your experience, is that cost really worth saving?
Okay. Having good hygiene practices, I would say it's not cheap. Okay, if you want to do it right, it is not cheap. Okay, but if you didn't do it at all, okay, it is actually much more expensive.
Right?
Yeah. So we and on top of that, what people don't understand is the efficiency of having certain practices. Like, for example, we buy proper professional chemicals. We use proper professional dishwashing and glass washing equipment and machinery, right? So what happens is when I use a dishwasher, plates come in, it goes into a dishwasher. I know it's being washed with hot water.
Yeah.
I know when it comes out, it dries almost immediately. Okay, I don't need to have somebody taking wet and checking whether they are clean or whether there's grease on it, and you can almost use it back immediately. I don't need an extra staff, cloth to wipe, trying to get it dry before reusing it, right? So there is efficiency in this.
As a restaurant owner, what do you think are the challenges when it comes to setting up, a proper dishwashing system in your restaurants?
Oh, okay. Kitchen space, any space in a restaurant is precious. Every inch that we can get, we try to utilize it. But it needs to go with the layout. Most important is we need to find the right location for it. We need to make sure, because there's extra, this is part and parcel of the investment. You need to do extra pipe works. You need to get proper shelving and for all the plates, and there's a lot of things, and you need to locate it in a place where the service guys in the restaurant can access it. If it's in the kitchen for pot wash, it needs to be not in the way of the kitchen during service. So there's quite a bit that goes into working it out, So people tend to say dishwashing area, just dump it in one corner. Okay, but it's not as simple as that. Yeah, to get it to flow and give clean lines in the operational part of the kitchen, that plays an important role.
So let's find out all about commercial dishwashing. Now, we speak to Stefan Kainat, Regional Product Manager of Asia from Winterhalter.
Hi.
Hi, Stefan. Stefan, having a dishwasher is a good way to start. How does it support F&B business in the implementation of hygiene standards?
Commercial dishwashers are built according to international hygiene standards. That means that we have washing temperatures between 60 and 65 degrees Celsius, and we have a rinse temperature between 82 and 85 degrees Celsius. At these temperatures, we can make sure that we can remove all dirts and soils from the tableware, and we can achieve a good sanitizing effect.
Right, but does this mean that having a dishwasher is enough to have clean dishes?
Well, we are almost halfway there. But of course, there are other elements which are influencing the washing process a lot. For example, we have the detergent and the rinse aid, which are there to get the proper result and to improve the drying result a lot. Furthermore, okay, we have our racks. With these racks, we can make sure that the wash items are in the correct position in the dishwasher.
Right. What about operating it on a daily basis? Does it need any specific skill?
It's quite simple. The training on site just takes a few minutes. In the first step, we will explain our operators, okay, how to fill the racks correctly. And in the second step, we will show them how to make a proper pre-wash. After that, they are well trained and they can go ahead by their own. The main job will be done by the dishwasher.
Right. In terms of investing in this type of services and systems, the cost of service and maintenance is often a factor of consideration. How do you address this kind of concerns?
For a responsible manufacturer, it is a standard to deliver a proper after-sales service. This includes professional technical support, preventive maintenance programs, spare part availability in the countries, and guided user trainings.
Wow, that's a lot of information. Thank you so much for the insight.
Thank you very much.
Can you share with our viewers what would be some of the tips for yourself and other restaurants for picking the right partners to work with when it comes to dishwashing systems?
Well, I think it's more than dishwashing systems, right? It's all about overall hygiene practices. Yeah. So we do monthly pest controls, and getting the right chemicals, even right down to the floors, cleaning every part, not just the plates, not just the glasses, ensuring proper care and practices are used in disposing even of rubbish, right? In terms of partners that we use, it's quite simple. Go for those with a good track record.
Yeah.
Just every month, we want to make sure our guys, when they learn how to do this right, and all these people, all these companies that we use, they provide very, very good, what I would call training, after sales services in our line. That's what we call it. And that's the most important. Somebody who, when we call something is wrong, or from time to time we say, I want training. I have a lot of new staff. They will come by, they will show us how to use the chemicals, they will show us what are the best practices to clean the place. So I would go with those with good track records. Yeah.
It has been like a great afternoon with you guys, so I'd just like to take this time to thank Trudy and Stefan for a great insight and a good learning experience about hygiene practices. It's good to know that it's actually easy to implement, and restaurants like Werner's is leading the way in implementing them. So thank you again, both Werner's and Winterhalter. So shall we just cheers to this?
Cheers!
Yeah. Thank you for joining us for the first episode of HMEP Media's documentary series on all things hospitality. We look forward to seeing you soon.